Hello.
Back again.
Ladies and gentlemen, roosters and hens, and everything else in between, Cock Talk is back. What are you laughing at already?
You didn't hear it, but I'll explain in a second.
As
Finish your
always,
intro.
as always, from the Coop Collective, I'm just trying to be professional here. I am Tyler at MBF Express. We have Josh at Grateful Coops. It's a two-man show tonight. That's already off the rails. Thanks, Josh. What were you laughing at?
So my intro that I have to play that the audience hears but you don't of
Mm-hmm.
the sounder and the
Uh-huh.
cackle. I'm playing it off of an old recording because I don't have like that cut anymore because I can't find my drive that it's on from
That
the
Woodward
move.
Summit, yeah.
I don't know where it went. All my other stuff's here except the drive. I don't know what happened, but anyways, so you heard Blake there.
Oh,
But he's not here. You hear me go hello, hello twice because I said it myself and I was just a little too slow. But
that is funny because I am used to hearing it, so I'm just sitting here waiting for the hello. And it's my only cue, and I'm like, all right, we'll get there.
yeah, so
Well,
anyway,
thanks for that.
yeah.
That's good. We'll get it started. So, I
Anything
think we all
going on
know
tonight?
why,
What happened tonight? Anything?
I think we all know why we're here, right? I think we all want to know why we're here. It's Tuesday night, and we just had the first Tuesday of the month, which
Yeah.
means that AMA with the Chicken Derby developers. Today's AMA took a little bit of a different kind of feel to it. It seemed like the devs understood ahead of time that there was some very obvious things they needed to kind of get out in front and talk about,
Right.
being the the poll that was taken and the results thereafter, as well as Fusion. But they did kind of grab the questions as they came in and mixed. I think for the most part, everything that needed to be asked was answered. I think there was a couple things that still missed. They still kind of let anything pass by that looks like too much racing logic that they want to kind of pass up on anything. But for the most part, it seems like we might not have loved every answer, but they did give us quite a bit of answers tonight, and we do have a pretty good idea how we're moving forward in the AMA. Without much ado here, I guess we should just kind of dive into reactions. I guess just off the bat, how did you feel about the AMA tonight?
I mean, first and foremost, which I hope they make the right decision, but the first thing that stands out to me is and I understand the poll may not have been what they were going to do regardless of the results, but they
Mm-hmm.
should elaborate on that next time they have a poll because the way Deli was making it sound, he wasn't a fan of redistributing every bird back to its original MPO.
Right. And
So that kind of had people, a little, not so much up in arms, but it's just like, come on, like you at least tell us you want it to be, it's not going to be permanent, or, at least do what we want. But I think there was some really good. No, here. I mean, I was just gonna say, I really think there was some good suggestions that came about from that being said, from what Deli said, and then the other suggestions in the chat. What Deli was saying makes sense. You really don't want the volume to die down in S class or A class rather, because they're already kind of slow the way it is, and it's a pain to get races to fill already. But the big thing is that there was some good discussion to be had, and the suggestion of putting the birds down to E class automatically and then all unraced birds, but then you kind of penalize the people that have birds stuck in classes that they really don't belong, and their MPO is they're stuck in A class and their MPO is now C class, and it's like, dude,
Yep.
you really want to pay $60 to down class that far? I mean, like, I don't know, I really don't, but it's and it's harder now
Yep.
because of the new system. And I mean,
Yep.
it's just I liked what Snorlax had to say. That was a big one. Doing the MPO reset and doing a 1 week season initially to kick it off, just to get things moving around, just because birds aren't going down, only up that first season. So I mean, I think it was constructive. That part, I just wanted to get that out of the way, but I think the rest of it was really constructive. I think the answers were pretty straightforward. And I mean, like the stuff they were talking about with Fusion, I mean, that's exciting. That's exciting stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to some of the fusion stuff a little bit later. Some of my assumptions were basically confirmed, which really makes me feel good about the prospect of fusion. Worth just sharing with anybody who is the uninitiated. The three poll questions that were asked from the community, and I agree with you, Josh. I kind of feel like this was their first foray into really giving us a poll like this one. Um, I still would have liked to have known ahead of time exactly how they were going to use it, and maybe
Yeah.
announce that to everybody to
That's like
let
the
us
only
know.
downfall, because everything else was perfect. They were transparent with everything. They even showed the results and all of the answers straight out, of what people were suggesting even. Like sometimes you
Yeah, I
don't
really like
get
that.
that.
That is pure transparency on that front. People were a little
All
bit worried that it
anonymous
was
of
a
the submitters, but still, I
right,
mean,
right.
just
But
it's
people were still worried
necessary.
that it was a private poll behind doors, but they went ahead and just opened the door and said, "Here you go. This is what it looks
Because
like."
one thing is you never know what someone may suggest behind the closed doors that's not probably not very vocal in a chat, and you never know, some people may latch onto that and be like, hey, whoever suggested that, this is brilliant, like why aren't this
Hmm.
is a good idea, we should try this.
Right.
So I like it. That the
So,
only
so
knock
yeah,
is
we
just have a little disclaimer there next time.
sure because the three questions were pretty simple. It should chickens be assigned to a minimum pecking order? Overwhelmingly yes. 68.5% said yes, as outlined. 20.5 said yes, but not quite as outlined, and only 11% said no. Obviously, some of the big things here, as far as well, we'll fit through real quick. The next one was, when should it be implemented? 76% said, end of season 4, start of season 5, which is February 14th. Cool, that one's nice and easy. And then we'll get to this last one in a second, as that's also a big piece you were kind of jumping at. Well, let's stay there. I'll pop back to the other in a second. The last question was, if minimum pecking orders are implemented, which of the following should happen? All chickens move to their PMPO. That got 74% of the vote yet again, but we're going to be looking at something else, which is a little frustrating at this point, mainly because I think everyone was really hoping for that full reset. I mean, that was the kind of concept here. It's like, let's just go and do this. We know the 100K tournament's on the horizon. I would really love to see as many chickens as possible that could actually compete for that and have it in the right spot, and just
Mm-hmm.
let it literally be a, who can run their chicken the best in this tournament. And it'd be a kind of a cool way for all of us to kind of figure out where we stand in this game with the chickens now, with the PO locks, being able to run our E-class chickens. I'm really looking forward to that concept.
Yeah,
The fact that I can just run
absolutely.
E-class chickens now.
Well, and just
Uh,
unleashing birds that I've had on the shelf for months because it's
yeah,
just I don't have the funds to declass them because they're
right.
stuck, and
So
like
yeah,
mostly
Bachfather.
Seramas.
Yep. Well, Bachfather said maybe if there's any birds that are 2 or 3 classes out of line, they get moved as well. They
Yeah.
receptive, like you said, they were receptive to that.
Yep.
Hopefully, they did say in the main chat that Deli and Apex are going to talk over in the morning Snorlax's proposal to have the 1 week season that kind of kicks it off, and then we go from there. That really was, it seemed like they thought something else was being suggested during the AMA, so Snorlax went out of his way to make sure they understood exactly what he meant there, and they're going to take that into consideration. I think that's bare minimum. I think that has to happen, just because it gives them a little bit of room. It's kind of twofold here. It gives them a little bit of room to continue to build out the 100K tournament. We
Mm-hmm.
can build towards it, and then we can have one quick little event, maybe, of just us figuring out what this feels like, shuffling our birds around, getting them where they want to, getting a feel for this new system, and then we dive head first. So I think I'd like that. That would be, as far as the outcomes that actually could happen. It seems like they are pretty set on not moving all of the chickens, even though a lot of us kind of wanted that.
I mean,
That's probably best case scenario of realistic outcomes at this point.
a lot of us are on the same page as like I was saying last week. I mean, you have to move all of them in order for it to be an actual full reset and it's fair. But I mean, if there's a halfway meeting ground that we can kind of compromise on, like if a bird's 2 classes above where it could be in terms of MP and min pop, again, like A to C or B to all the way to D and or S to B, like those things, I would like that to be into consideration, because it's not fair for those that like, have birds stuck up in classes that you have to fork over the ETH to get them down. And I guess, yeah, you can say them's the breaks, but like we want birds racing, right? And like I want to race
Yeah,
all those birds. I
in the
don't
name
know.
of the full reset, that's really where I stand with it. In the name of the full reset, let's do something that looks like a full reset, that feels like a full reset.
Right.
Yeah, S class being slowed down along with A, I understand that, but the 1 week is a very good compromise. I certainly hope it's something that they decide to take into consideration at the end of this tournament. We are in fact in a
Just
volume
ima-
tournament right
just
now.
imagine
That's
that scramble in that 1 week though. You got 1 week, or you could just
figure it out.
park your
Yeah,
bird for the week. I mean, either or. But I have to imagine some people would be just scrambling to try and fill like a whole season in 1 week. That'd be kind of
yeah, try to
fun.
test it out a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Just, I mean, but in the end, we're all going to be curious just to see where we shake out, and that's kind of where this question leads. Going back to the first question, where some people should the chickens be assigned to the minimum pecking order? Yes, but not as outlined. So one of the biggest, hottest topics within the community has been the idea that each chicken is, in fact, individually ranked in its
Right.
MPOP. Uh, kind of a controversial thing just to see that
Mm-hmm.
on at its surface. Just the idea of like, here's all the info. Go ahead, and now you can sift through it. I totally understand the argument on one end where it's like, it feels like too much of a roadmap, too much of a directive. But I also kind of understand the idea of like, well, now we're all on the same page. Now we all see it for what it is right there. When Fusion comes in, things are going to be a little bit different. And we can all kind of start at that same frame of information. So,
Right. He said there
uh,
was a whole formula that went into place with the variables of all the variables involved, and that's what it spit out.
right.
And
And the community
I
has
think,
put,
and here's the thing though, like this is the first time we can try this. So I mean, if there are issues, I mean, and they see it and you address it, or if you squeal loud enough, it's like it might, they're still open to changing it, I'm sure. As we've been tinkering with this since season started for the most part.
yeah, just think about how many changes
The
that
pop
made the
change
seasons
we
over.
had,
Yeah.
it's just, and yeah, it was necessary. And is everybody happy? I don't know. But you're not going to make everybody happy. And
Yeah. Well, the one group that isn't happy is the idea that they feel that the stripes, white beaks, and
mhm,
other rarities are punished.
good seg. That's where I was
And
going.
yeah, I figured as such. And you know what? I can absolutely see it on both ends. I mean, obviously, in chats in public, I've been very much trying to argue on the sense of like, I'm not even trying to argue. I have been taking birds. Just about anyone who sends me a bird that they think is out of place, I go and look at it. And once I break it down by how they're like, go to chicken.tools and just break it down by class, you actually start to see that a lot of these birds are already pretty damn good in their minimum pop class. And if they got any lower, they're dominant. They're
Hmm.
overpowered in my mind. Uh,
Well, it's just
Now it's frustrating
oh, go
to
ahead.
have that just kind of change on you. And I'm not here to diminish that frustration that all of a sudden you used to be able to get it lower and now you can't. But their gripes are very much that they feel that they've been penalized or punished for having a rarity. With that, I kind of look at it and think we don't know. Yeah, yes, we can go off old race data. That's all I really was doing, was going off old race data to try to figure that out and try to see where they fit. The truth is, in the end, as Deli said himself earlier in the week, that this is going to very much be a new scape of racing in total.
All right.
So the fact that this new scape of racing is going to be a complete new slate, we don't really know how these birds are going to do. There's still a very good chance that your white beak or your stripe or your rare talent or ultra rare talent, it's still going to succeed quite well where they're placed once everything gets sorted out. I think I was talking with Al, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm getting crushed by 99 and 100s," and it's like, well, your 98 will no longer be facing 99 and 100s. So we'll have to see how that whole thing sorts out. It'll
Right.
be I don't want to say the easier path, but it'll be a path that's way more equitable.
But it's also, you have to factor in, like, these birds aren't meant to be spammed all over the place either. Like in the tutorial they say it has a preferred and a preferred distance and terrain. So if you figure out where, I mean, yeah, you spam to figure out where it's good at, but once you figure out where it's good, I mean, you got to stick to that, I feel like. And
Well,
it's
that's what it came down to. There was when I'm looking these birds up, the main thing I'm looking for is when they drop down to the minimum M pop that the racer would like them to be in. So let's say their M pop is B, but they think they should be in C. When they're in C, they win on everything. They have like a 20% win, 40+% podium, and they don't just win on the terrain or combo that they're good at, they win on everything. And that really isn't the spirit of the game. I mean, yes,
no,
getting the
that's
edge
not a
has
game of
been
skill. That's just like, I mean, spraying and praying pretty much.
it has been the game. And there's no, and I'm not in any way discrediting the methods that they've used
No.
to get there, but that is where we are. Because when I then pop it over to, B class, they're not quite as dominant across the board, but they're still quite damn good
Yeah,
in the spot that they're good at, and more than good enough to be a profitable bird. So I
absolutely.
kind of get why they did this and why perfection isn't the be all end all. And I know that perfection has been one of the, I don't want to say overweighted in the community, but it kind of has been. We've always kind of looked at perfection almost thinking that it's an overall score, and it's not exactly like that. Like
Right.
they've said so many times, there's so many different factors that come in here, which is really when they got down into they did give us some information about robust versus spicy, which we can get to when we talk about fusion, and it has to do with this as well.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing for me is, like, I built my entire coop mostly off of cosmetics, and I didn't go after high perfections until later on in the game. Once I was like, well, I don't have one of those, I should probably get a couple of them. So I mean, like, and cosmetics and rare talents, like, that's what I went after. And I mean, I'm not, I'm just excited to see how it shakes out. Right. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm looking at it as like, okay, well, I'm facing a whole bunch of other 94 Sultans and 93 Sultans, or 92, or, 94 and below lax. I mean, that to me is okay, because it feels like a level playing field. I'm not racing against 98, 99s and some
Mhm.
hundreds that trickled down all of a sudden. It's
Right.
like it just
Now,
feels better.
if I'm listening to the community and I'm taking what they've said, I have to bring up the fact that some people have kind of thought this could create a boring race, uh, mm, everything, a boring race game, a race game that kind of spreads things out a little bit more, where we don't quite see those
Everybody
awesome
wins.
monster birds. Yeah,
Or a
and it's not
random, like, yeah.
right, and it's not going to be an everyone wins. We know that, but still, it's still one of those frustrating things where and I get it. A lot of people were profitable. A lot of people just got used. Maybe not even profit. Take the profit idea out of it. A lot of people got used to racing a certain way, and now it's going to switch again. Which, yes, I get it. It's frustrating. We can sit here and say it's beta, and that's a frustrating thing to just sit here and just lean on like a weak crutch and say it's beta. But things are changing, and this is something that is coming. And in this regard, I would say as tricky as it can be to all of a sudden have this thing just kind of mixed up in the middle here, it is, what am I trying to get at here without being like I don't want to say too aggressive about it, but it's a new format that we're all going to learn together, right? And from that point, we can kind of just, I don't want to say relearn how to run these birds, but that's kind of where we're sitting at right now, is it not?
Yeah.
Like we know where the birds are going to be ran. We have a good idea based on what we've had, but now things are going to be going up against other ones that are kind of in the same range. And long story short, where this is all kind of sprawling to is I feel like it's going to make the tournaments better. So, and here's what I mean by that. Yes, we might not see those big jumps of ETH from certain birds when they get down and drop, and this is your season to go jump and get it. But now we have a tournament scenario where I feel like more people could win a tournament. And the tournaments are the most fun part, especially the meritocracy tournaments, the ones where we have to earn the victories that aren't the events, the actual ones we are compiling points trying to win first place. more birds now are going to have the opportunity to compete with each other to try to get up there. And if we're being real, a lot of the same people have been winning these tournaments or at least getting the top fives. And hell, I'm one of them. The most profitable time I've had in Chicken Derby has been during these seasons. And I'd still like to see something else because I don't want to see this game just slowly fade and die because only a
Yeah.
couple people are dominating it.
Yeah. I agree. And with that, I mean, it's just tough because while I like some people were saying like that these boosts are like kind of meaningless now, right? Like they with when we get to breeding and
Mm-hmm.
fusion, now that they can't go, and some birds that can't go, but like where I mean, I don't know, is it rubber ducky Alriad's bird? That's the
Yeah.
white beak lack 98.
98. Yep.
That's MPO's B, and it's like
Yes. Good
11
bird.
of, I don't know, what did he say, like 80 some white beak 98s.
Yeah, and,
Like,
and
I
only
mean,
a couple of them are higher up. But in that regard, since I actually still have it up because I was talking to him earlier, in B class, post talent, 302 total races. She was 298 in B class. It's still on it's still 70, 36, and 28 in 298 races. It's a headhunter. It still wins a ton of races. So if that went down to C, it would just dominate.
yeah,
It would completely dominate. And
it,
actually only has 4C races in total right now. So it's not like it's been there a lot anyway. So I get it, and I get the frustration that he's been dealing with
I don't,
lately, going
yeah,
up against Monster and Margarita. You can't beat them, but they're gone now. They're locked in A class. Those are 98s and 100. They're gone.
I just want to see the results. Like they may surprise us now that this is kind of even keeled out with birds that you're racing against. Like Crazy saying, they aren't useless, just not happy. They have to compete against higher birds. But what if they surprise you? And that's the thing. Like that's what I'm most excited about seeing. Is like I just want to see how this shakes out. Like, I want to see if my birds are better, if they're
Hmm.
now worse, or if, like, all of a sudden I'm like, like Cheshire, he kind of does what he wants. Like, I mean, if he's now against birds of an equal kind of, equal
Hmm.
race, like, not birds that he's not supposed to be running against, like, maybe he's
Well,
way better
Cheshire's
than he's
White Beak,
supposed to be.
yeah.
Right.
Well, Cheshire's White Beak is almost certainly the distance again. So it's like a Sultan that has a distance boost as well. That's why it's a 94 Sultan, but it's so damn good.
Yeah.
It already has the higher distance for Sultan, but has a white beak and it's clearly the distance. When you use that properly, I don't think the boost is meaningless. I don't think it's going to
I
even
don't
make
think
it
so either,
useless.
because, like,
Now you get to use it properly.
my 95 stripe is in B class, MPO B class, and that's probably where it belongs. I mean, but my 94 white beak is he can get down to C class. So
Yeah, there's some weird ones
it's
out there,
one
but
point different, and that's
yeah,
like, what's the difference? I don't know that it's
yeah.
making it kind of useless, or I don't know. Like I said, the formula clearly, I don't know. You've been looking through the numbers. I've been looking through
Hmm.
the numbers. I haven't really seen a bird that I like in my coop, or any birds that really seem out of place. Like when you go and check the stats, if they've
Yeah,
raced, or like if you look at them, it's like, oh, they got stripes and a white beak. That's probably a
yeah.
really good bird.
I'm yet to see one that has, in that 300 race range, post talent, just because for the sake of it, 300 race range that isn't already quite good, or at least the best that it can be in that upper level. I haven't seen one that doesn't win at the level that it's locked at, or at least be competitive at the level that it's locked at. So that's the reason these things are a little bit higher. If they stayed down, we would just be running into the same problem, and it'd be a long-term problem that these birds that are clearly better than than these other ones that are, sitting in C class, they won't be able to compete.
Like
And then we have the same problem again.
Jackie
So
Daytona's a 93 Dorking, and her MPO's C class. I was kind of surprised by that, but I
mhm,
mean, she's a classic vamp, and she's really good at track, and she's a blue
yeah.
rooster. So I mean, it makes sense. Like it, I don't know. I hope she can compete there. She's done all right in the past in C class,
Hmm.
but maybe now that it's evened out, it'll be better or be
And that's
what
the
it
thing too.
was again.
The C class that she's been running in for, and it's not just seasons. Seasons certainly did a lot of stuff. Seasons certainly just kind of threw everything for a loop. But we've been inching towards this problem ever since we've had the ability to kind of drop these birds down, and people figure out their birds a little bit better, and again, to be able to drop them down a little bit further, a little bit further. They've been leaking. We've been having wolves in the hen house, no pun intended, a lot as it moves forward. So we don't even know what that old C class is going to look like until this new C class presents itself and we see how these birds run against each other. At the very least, I'm excited for the opportunity to unleash my coop again instead of just racing 3 to 4 for the season.
Yeah. So moving on to fusion on that with there because this kind of we can kind of carry this over with the white beaks and the stripes, because the next question was, or a question was raised that it'll be pointless to fuse a stripe or a white beak with another chicken to gain that boost, because it'll be locked into a higher class and it might suck. And I don't know. I don't think that way, I guess. It again, if you're pulling the statistics from the bird that's good with the stripes and the white beak and stuff, it should continue to be a good bird, unless it's maybe the formula reruns. That algorithm that Deli talked about?
Oh, it does.
When you fuse a bird, it reruns the algo, or that formula that he said?
Yeah, I believe he said it does, and
Okay,
I think
I missed
it's
that.
perfect time. Yeah, it's perfect time just to roll into that, because the question was in regard to fusion. And what does, and really the main question about fusion, before we get anywhere else, just at its base level, is what's the difference between robust and spicy? So we did get some clarification today. It might not have been what everyone really wanted, but some clarification about whether and what the difference between spicy and robust is. It's another factor within the game that obviously, if all is equal, perfectly equal, perfectly equal spicy goes up against a perfectly equal robust, the spicy is probably going to win. That's what they said. That kind of stands true with everything they've put together. But they did also say that you will be able, in theory, could be able to create a bird that is better than a current spicy 100 Serama. So the theory that I had that was throwing out there, that we could in fact make better birds out of this fusion, and that fusion is meant to be an upgrade to your chicken, it seems basically confirmed at this point that yes, there is some cool shit we'll be able to make. And if done properly and you spend enough on the fusion serums, you'll be able to really craft something very, very, very particular.
I mean,
and not just that.
I even heard like better than 100 Serama good.
Yeah, Steve Martin.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm paying attention to chat.
You're fine. Yeah, but that's the key there, is that the robust is just another factor. Deli actually said they have designed it where some robust will be better than spicies. They have designed it where that has the opportunity to happen. So at its core, that I think that should quell the community just a little bit on the nerves of what are we getting with a robust? How worse can it be? And the cool thing, and as I see this little dude running in the scene that you're about to show up, we'll be able to get some different traits and some different skins and some different everything. And they have different boosts that come with them.
Yeah. I mean, boosts as in like this translucent green chicken is slippery, as Deli said. It evades talents, so it is less likely to get hit by a talent or a talent firing on it.
Yeah.
Like he said, I think his example was if an anvil goes up into the air, you can be relieved
less likely to get hit
by it.
Yep.
So
less likely to get hit. So I like that. The toothpick we see right there that will also have, that is a beak accessory. So
also, I'm surprised no one asked about the toucan beak or the double beak. It looks like a double beak anyway.
Yeah.
Or a blend of the two.
That's supposed to be the falcon? I don't know.
Oh,
said falcon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's falcon. Yeah. All those damn Aryan types. But yeah, this is really cool. There's I'd imagine, so like I guess I would imagine there's a translucent version to each one. I don't know yet. This looks like a Lackenfelder, obviously, so that's pretty cool.
Maybe it's
They
not a
also
Lackenfelder.
maybe it's not. Maybe you're 100% right. Who the
Because
hell
if you
knows
get
what it
it,
is at
like
this point?
you would want a green, like you would want a green translucent chicken as like if to be a Sarama. I mean, that can't just be dedicated to lax, could it?
We'll see. We do
I
not
don't
know
know.
a thing about that yet, so we'll see. Although they did say that when the time is right to drop everything, they are going to drop everything so we can get about as much information as
All,
we possibly can.
all right, I'm not sure what you're talking about here. Radioactive slippery chicken with a veiny neck. I mean, we're
Mm.
talking racing chickens here. But
Although it
yes,
does look
no,
like there's a
it's
spinal
like
cord issue going
yeah,
on with this
yeah,
one.
broken
Might
back. It's kind of
need
sticking
to
out.
connect
It's
that
got
guy
some
right there.
guts here, some
Yeah,
gizzard. I think that's the heart with is that an
yeah,
esophagus? I
yeah.
don't
It's,
know.
it's got the little intestines in there. Like you see a little bit of everything, and
Oh yeah,
the black feet, just mix it in the black feet.
yeah.
So, and the other thing Deli did say is that these won't be like 1 in 100 rolls. Like they're reasonably within the realm that you could get these if you fuse a chicken, and you can only get them from the fusing of the chickens, and thereafter. And then I imagine once they're fused, then you keep them and you could breed down the line. But we don't know about that yet. At this point, if you want any of these new facets that they're mixing in, it's going to be through fusion. So that's pretty cool in my mind. They did also announce tonight, as we heard, as see Al in the chat mentions, that fusions are a limited supply, and they even were pressed on that, asking, "Well, what happens when these run out?" So then they already have some semblance of a plan for a V2, for a version 2 of serums that they said might come from owning fusion chickens and whatnot, but that's nothing set in stone yet. But this is, in fact, a limited drop, a limited supply when it happens. So that's pretty cool. I think that 2,000 of them are allocated at the moment to everyone that has ran races, won tournaments, and gotten over 300 per bird.
The next
So
big
it's, yeah,
thing is going to be like, what's the price, right? Like, what's the price
yeah.
point of the fusion serums? And I mean, you really can't make it. I mean, can you make it more expensive than a floorbird?
So
I don't know.
here was my take on it, is that like when I didn't know about limited supply, when I didn't know how many serums there would be, and I thought they would just be like a faucet. I was thinking, maybe they should make them more, because then we can earn them through racing, and that way the floor doesn't just like, maybe we could actually sell them for something. But if they're a limited supply, and we've already earned X amount, yeah, the price probably should be near Floorbird, and or around that range.
I mean,
And then they're ours, and then we get to sell them. Like, let's sell these things out, and then we have them, then we can set the market, and that actually creates some value for these damn things. And if anything is going to be like what they've released here, and just the alpha tonight that we got, that if you do it properly, you could be able to make a better racing chicken than you already have. And there was the argument of like, should we wait for breeding? I know Al was talking about this. Should I wait for breeding, or should I actually fuse here? And it comes down to, well, if it's a good chicken, a good racing chicken, you probably shouldn't fuse it, because you'll be able to make good birds from that. It'll be
mhm.
breeding, in theory, should be a randomization of furthering the bloodlines. But fusion is our opportunity to pick and choose and lock and
I
make something interesting. So you might be able to take two really bad birds and grab, like, if you have a really bad sandbird and a really bad moving walkway bird, it seems like the most obvious thing to punch those two together and lock it in, so you have that sand moving walkway combo.
I think one big thing. Now, I'm not saying like we need all the information, but like we need all the information.
We
No,
do, we do.
like
We need more info. Yeah.
I don't want to fuse a blackbird and then come to find out that it's like something special to do with breeding or something to do. Like, I would just like to
Yeah.
know, like, what's their thought process with like with the
Withholding.
cosmetics or the base
Yeah.
bodies or the things that they haven't kind of told us, like not that we want to like discover everything about everything, because eventually hopefully that we will, over time. But like
Hmm.
before we start fusing these things and burning them essentially, because that's what's going to happen to them, they're going to be burnt and gone forever. And
Yep.
Frito and I were joking about how we thought that it'd be kind of funny that you got a tombstone replacement NFT with the chicken's name on it.
Well, the metadata will be saved. We do know that. We know that you'll be able to rename the chicken. It'll come out as Fused Chicken X. So just something that I thought before was going to happen will happen. So that's cool. You'll be able to rename it. There will be. They even teased out. They were going back and forth on whether or not they would drop this tonight, but it seems like it's going to come on Friday during the dev blog. They're going to drop out what looks like a lineage, a page where you can actually see the bird, almost like family tree kind of
It's
thing,
like, wouldn't it
depending on
be
how.
awesome to put a tombstone on your land plot?
Yeah, in memoriam, like, like total. Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't cost
Sorry, that's
much to
just
do
funny.
that.
Like
No,
if
I
you have
like
a
that a
bird
lot.
that got a tournament like trophy and it's like mounted in your front yard, like in
Yeah,
memoriam, and you got it. Yeah, he's buried out back.
just a box of ashes.
Yeah.
This is what your bird was.
Oh my god. But no, seriously, I would really love to be able to know what we're getting into before we test and be crazy with it. Because like I want to get down for sure. I want to fuse some birds. I want to be Frankenstein and do whatever I can to make something really cool. But I also kind of want to know like what I'm doing a little bit before I do it. Like just because of like, like you don't know anything about chemistry,
Yeah.
and then you go in and start messing with everything and you find yourself blown up. So
Um,
I just
thanks to Crazy J for just putting it on the nose. The way I look at it is infusion is you're killing both parents at birth. It's like, okay, well, I guess you're right. Unless like well, consciousness is still in there, but it could get crowded. So uh, well, some of these birds I have, they deserve it. I'd be perfectly happy to just,
anyway.
set up the tombstone on these guys. So right. Uh, I think we got some nice alpha tonight about fusion.
Yeah.
That should get you feeling a little more confident. It's definitely made me just feel a little more just like, okay, I can work with this. This is fun. I want more. I want all of it. And then we can sit here and talk about all of it and figure out what we want to do. First and foremost, it seems like they're robust. They'll have a chance, not just a chance, but they want the fusion to feel like an upgrade. If they want the fusion to feel like an upgrade, then
It's the only way
let's
it
use some
works
birds.
because no one will
Yeah,
do it if it's not an upgrade. What's the point?
right.
If you're just burning your chickens that you paid for nothing, then there's no
Yeah.
no why?
It would be
Like it's
it would
got
be
to
different if
be
you could. Yeah, go ahead.
beneficial. I'm just saying it's got to be beneficial. You have to. There
Yeah,
has to be a positive to doing it, or
right.
there's no reason to do it. And they've
It would
worked
be
really
different.
hard on this.
Yeah.
To get worked in a couple months. They've been working on this for months now.
Hmm.
And like even Jote said today in the chat, like I feel these guys have, want this to be a positive thing and a good thing and a chance to upgrade thing, and they've
Hmm.
worked really hard on it, and it would just be pointless if it wasn't like that.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm at the point now where I've been trying to plan, and I can't really plan until I know how much these fusions are going to cost on the not secondary, but on the drop, and how much each of these categories are going to cost in general to lock stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
once we get that locked down, then we can just start going nuts with this. I'm here for it because I mean I'm really excited to see what else they got cooked up. If translucent is one of them, you have to imagine there's some other stuff they have in there too that they're going to be kicking out. So I'm looking forward to that part of it. And more than anything, I'm ready to get rid of some of these damn birds I have. Just smash them together and be done with them and move on. Even though there's part of me that's thinking, maybe I'll race them a little bit more with the new system and see what happens there next, right? But before that, there's some things to be figured out. There's some parts of the racing algo that we probably want to take another look at with the new setup. Still excited about the setup. I think this was a better AMA in general because I feel like we just got more information.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have to pull and pry for this info. They really gave us a lot of this info, and when we asked questions, I feel like we actually got some answers. They might not have always been the answers we liked,
Right.
and they still, and I'm still frustrated by the idea that we flat out voted a certain way and it's going another way,
Possibly.
right?
But like I said,
Possibly,
yep,
yeah.
yeah. No, I'm 100% feel you on that. Like it like, there needed to be a disclaimer if that was the case. Like and if that is the case, at least communicate with us and let us work together to find a common ground resolution that works
Yeah.
for both parties, right? Like for us as the community
Hmm.
that's racing the birds and what you as the developers in charge of the game would like to see.
Right. Well, that, is as super sworn to secrecy as we are in the council and all of that, that's still an easy thing that I can divulge. That's been one of our biggest talking points, is just always being like, you won't you probably won't hurt yourself being transparent. Even if you step over a little too far and maybe you gave a little too much alpha here and there, you're still going to win points for that transparency, for that openness, to let the community know that when they have a gripe, when they have a frustration, it's being heard, because we are the
Well,
ones racing,
Well,
and
that's the fun part is when they do leak that little bit of extra alpha, and it was like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that, and no, I'm not going to divulge into that any further. It's like, oh, now you got us speculating, now you got us talking, now you got us,
yeah,
not at
drive
each
that
other's
buzz a little
throats.
bit. Yeah,
Now we're trying to figure
it's been
something out.
tense. It had pink elephant in the room, the world's worst secret in chicken derby. It's been tense around these parts.
Yeah,
Every conversation we have with each other kind of has this, shroud that we're all arguing already right off the bat, instead of just figuring out where we want to go, or like everything feels like FUD, or nothing. For some situations it seems like nothing can be good enough, but then again, how can we have constructive conversations if everything feels like FUD? So yeah, there at this moment, the market's at a low point. Racing is tough. This current tournament is, or event, the Dorkings and Queens, is not really doing much. I felt largely
well,
lost
and
in
I
S4.
I feel a lot of that has to do with the results, waiting on the results of the race
Yeah,
set.
right. There's no major incentive besides just some more wearables, which we all like. And I'm sure in the last couple of days we'll see some push for it. Um, I'll probably get my shit together at some point and start seeing.
Well,
I've just been racing.
speaking
I've been
of,
doing.
should we just start racing some birds?
Do we want to race a little bit? Do we want to
Yeah.
actually? Well, we could probably start the full thing next week, where we go into it next week, where we could give it out one more time. Now, I know we talked about it on Twitter Spaces this past Friday during the Friday update, but we're going to start doing events every Tuesday night where we pick a race. Whoever gets into it. And if you win, and if you're in the chat and you're active that night and you win, you go onto the wheel at the end of the night, and then we try to run. I don't know. We'll see. Like maybe some weeks it'll be 8, some weeks it'll be over 10. I don't know how many
Yeah, it
races we'll
just
get through.
depends.
But this is a faster, more streamlined way to get everyone racing, where we don't have to lock anybody out that doesn't have a chance to get into racing. And yeah, if you catch a win, or you're the highest ranked in the race that's active in the Cock Talk chat, then your name goes on the list for a wheel at the end, and bang, we have ourselves a winner of a chicken or a wearable or something we'll be giving away. And if you own a 548 barn, you'll also be automatically entered into one of our monthly tournaments that we're going to start doing, where it's going to be actual head-to-head bracket style racing, and we're going to mess with that a little bit. Those will be private Discord events, private in the sense that it'll be in the Discord and not on YouTube or anything.
Right.
And we'll get together and throw out some cool prizes and whatnot that we have stored up for the 548. So yeah, it's gonna be kind of fun to do that, and everyone can get in there, and I'm sure those races are gonna fill quickly. So yeah, I think I've covered just about everything that I really need to cover tonight. If we want to we want to try to fill some races, we can.
I'm down. I'm
What
just
are you looking
trying to
at?
checking out the scope. I don't know. Let's
You want to
see.
try to grab something like that's half full, that is a little higher
Oof.
up? Yeah, I got to check the Weath. It sold something today. It wasn't a chicken.
I don't know what
All right.
class.
Let's see. We looking at? It's so hard to pick a class right now.
I know.
That's another thing. I don't really know which of my birds. I'm actually running the White Bee Gang Buddies tournament with my sister, and we're having fun. We're just trying to combo and get in there, and we're kind of just like looking at different races and trying to find ones that sync up. I think it's a cool concept the way they put that together. There's some different scoring in there that I really like, but that's the only thing I've been trying to focus on. But let's go to like okay, like
C.
C class. C class, we have a C 100 grass for $3.36. It's 7 of 12 already. Am I in this already? No, I'm not. Okay. So 7 of 12. Oh, you don't like that?
I don't know what I got here.
I don't like that.
Whatever, I'll throw one in.
I mean, yeah, I'll drop Andromeda into just about any race because why not? I'll take a freaking shot at that bird, no matter what they're on, even though it's a Sultan. So I'll jump into that one. So do y'all want to do a little bit of racing? I want to jump into in C. It's the Verasagat Brintel. I think I nailed
Budapest, Hungary.
There you go. Budapest. 336 is the buy-in. 7 of 12 right now. I'm jumping
100 grass. It's 9 of 12 now.
100 grass, 9 of 12. Nice. We'll see if we can fill that guy up. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, we got 14 people on stream, so maybe we actually can fill some stuff.
See what's in A class, maybe?
Yeah, let's go to A class. A class, anything in that mid-range again?
Ooh, how about this 160 sand for 84 cents?
Yeah, I mean, I'll get into that. I got the perfect bird for that. So 84 cents, 160 sand. That's Zachariah's task in Nauru. All right. Little rebel scum.
So far, we've got C class 100 grass. That is a $3 plus race. And A class, the Zachariah's task. That's a 160 sand in A. What do you think? Should we throw something in B and D? Just throw a few out there.
Yeah. I got D. I will be 100% donating in D, but I'll do it if we need to. You said B. Let's look at B class. We're 10 of 12 on that 100 grass.
All right.
Now in C class. In B class, let's look around here for a second.
Oh, we got some half fillers here.
Just pick one, whatever one you want.
It's either 50, 80, or $5.
I know. Yeah, that's a little strange, isn't it? Like, all right.
I don't even know if I have a bird that I'd be comfortable throwing into one of those $5 races on road.
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
really.
definitely since
No.
98s and 99s and 100s waiting for you. You better have a good bird if you're gonna get into that race, man.
Yeah,
like I gotta be honest. Like, this isn't just real quick without getting on my fucking pedestal again here. B class 100 road. We're looking at 98, 99, 98, 99, 98, 98, 98, 100. Like, it's gonna be nice to not have that.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be nice when that's A class.
That used to be 94, 94, 95, 96, 94, 94, 95, right. 93.
And now it'll be 97s and 96s, a couple of 98s mixed in, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be nice when that feels like B class again. And you all those birds that you have sitting there actually have a chance to maybe run on these. So
maybe let's look at D class.
Yeah, okay, fine. If I'm donating, I'm donating. Go ahead.
Yeah.
That is a little weird setup there. Anything in D you want to run?
I don't know. These are all...
It jumps again, doesn't it? It does it again. 50 cents, 84 cents, $5. What is going on?
Let's do this 200 sand. I don't care. Whatever. There's 92, 93, 94, 93, 94. I mean, that feels, you know.
200 sand, I'll throw in sledge. At least, you know, I have the boost with a Sultan, but I don't feel good about it. But all right. Fair enough. I will bring sledge out. That's another thing. I have that other floofy lizard 96 that I bought that I haven't even tried to race yet because I don't even see the point right now in trying to discover a bird. So he can just get shit stomped in B class. A 96 sitting in B, floofy should be okay. Not really, not against going to those guys.
93, 94 Sultans. I missed that part.
Yeah.
But still.
Oh, yeah.
C180 dirt.
All right, let's see. Do we have anything quite fill yet?
Crazy J says C180 dirt. Once upon a time, Ross. Once upon a time, 94 is in B.
Yeah. C180 dirt. Let's do it. C180 dirt. That's 84 cents, 6 to 12 right now. C180 dirt sounds good. Andromeda dropping in. That way we can actually get one rolling here since it's in the 84-cent range. Okay, okay.
Oh shoot.
All right. So yeah, in the end, I am still cautiously optimistic. That's where I was at the end of the spaces on Friday. I still feel pretty confident about this idea of the block class is working, and if nothing else, creating more parity in the tournaments, which they are the showcases of all of this. The tournaments are the fun part of
Mm-hmm.
doing all of this. Also, today someone did pop into the main chat asking about scholarships again. And they were asking if there was any way that they could race somebody else's, and it was just like, nope, not unless you give them the keys to your wallet, which
No,
I
but
would not
then
recommend.
the discussion was had.
Right. And Apex was like, man, it's a bit of a bummer to see someone coming in looking for a scholarship and we got to turn him away. But he did, I believe his words were, once we have land, we will be not only, hopefully for those, we'll be implementing the ability to do these kind of things. So I'm here for that. And whatever kind of fix they have to try to help with the onboarding and whatnot, I'm here for that as well. I'm very excited to see what that next step kind of looks like. Um, and the only other takeaway that I had from the AMA is they were asked outright for all of you when marketing crowd, which again is all of us now. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the 180 dirt
Yep, I
in
know.
C
Two
filled. We got
minutes.
2 minutes on
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
the 100 grass, $3 is 11 to 12.
Okay.
Looks like that
I could probably throw another bird.
160 sand is 7 to 12 in A class. What else?
Yeah,
So,
I'll
yeah, the
toss in.
200 sand in D class for 5 is $7. Where's Wham? He'd be excited that we're running
Yeah, he heard us talking too
expensive
much and ran
races.
away. Um, but yes, for the when marketing crowd, they did say we have not done the marketing yet. They outright said it, so that feels good that we haven't had money wasted on that. But they did say they're putting together a package. So I know Apex came into the chat and was asking for like different stories and whatnot. So maybe they're building together something to finally get out there and really push on this. Someone asked as well if they were going to wait till after land, and they were like, no, I don't think we need to wait till after land because land is the next thing up. That was another question from the AMA. Land is in fact the next big thing that they'll be moving towards next, and they're not going to wait for land in order to start pumping out the marketing. So I'm excited for that. We need some new blood in this place. Seeing like 80 people vote on that poll didn't feel great. Feel
Mm-hmm.
like we're being resuscitated on that edge right now, and we need new blood. We need new racing, but we need the racing fixed. And I think we're all kind of in that phase now. Maybe rock bottom is behind us. I would be very hopeful of that, but yeah, I get it. I'm tired of the division. I'm tired of being frustrated all the time. I'm tired of all of us at each other's throats and whatnot. Josh, you said it. It's like when you hang around your cousins for too many days in a row and you get tired of them.
Then
You're
you
happy
want to
as
kill
hell.
each other by the end of your
Yeah,
hangout sesh.
you're happy as
It's
hell.
all
Yeah,
like sunshine and rosies and perfect time. We're having a great time first day, and
yeah,
it's like by the day 4, you're just
yep.
attacking each other and punching each
Well,
other.
after the seventh time of beating your cousin by 70 points in Madden, they're just done with you. You
Hmm.
know, there's too many Nerf darts to the face, and you're done. You're moving
Yeah,
on. So
or
yeah,
it was more like BBs to the face from a BB
yeah.
gun or something stupid like that, or poked in the eye with a stick.
Oh, paintballs to the skin from a
Oh,
foot from 5 feet away.
yeah.
Yeah, I've got a couple of those scars on my leg.
A spitball
Oh,
right in your ear hole.
yeah, seriously. So yeah, we're all a little on edge. We're all a little frustrated. I get it. I don't want to be frustrated anymore. I've been snarky and a little bit of an ass. I'll admit it. I've been frustrated. Real life shit mixing with this shit, and it's just been a bad cocktail. But anyway, we got a race. We're
Hey,
moving.
Sid's here. Sid, we got some races waiting. If you don't want to hop in them, I think it was like a 200 sand in D class, 160 sand in A class. What was the C class one? Was that 100 grass?
100.
Yeah, I think that
grass.
filled. It's up after
I think
this.
I filled that. I think I filled that. Yeah.
Well, so far we got Eggy Trejo and Redhead Redemption and Skippity Paps to lead off the top 3.
See, what's my goddamn 91 Sultan doing in this with Eggy Trejo? Like, I got.
I mean, Slowbot's in here. She doesn't belong in this race.
Oh my God, you put Slowbot in a C race?
She's a dirt bird.
Okay.
Well, I'm just playing to the advantages there.
For what? Oh, here comes fucking Alariad.
That fucking donkey.
That thing is menacing when it's in the air.
Those eyes just peer into your soul. Yep. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they are. They have death in them. Is a dead donkey and staying alive.
You know,
ready to kill you.
I'll tell you after the show who it really reminds me of. Not anybody in the community. It's just someone Tyler and I know.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'll look forward to
that. Looks like we got a fan group coming from was that T-Pex? Yeah.
Nice.
Nice cheeseburger. Birthday cake shirt.
Birdlaw had a 4 fan group race earlier today.
That's insane.
And they won it.
Good.
Thank God. Gosh, you saw a double black hole. They got third. His Parsnips double black hole got 3rd place. That hurts.
That hurts. Yeah.
Come on, Andromeda. Do something at the end.
All right, 30 meters to go. Ooh, we had a little tease of a sprint there for a little minute. I thought they were going to duke it out. We got Skippity Paps from Birdlaw, Eggy Trejo from BAWK Familia, and Coop Coral Coco with T-Pex here. This Sarama
and here comes Eggy.
After walking. I don't know.
No?
Eggy's probably going to storm on. Yeah, there it is.
He's got second locked up now.
Oh, I was not paying attention. Thought we had 10 more to go. That's on me. Slowbot didn't get last. Bitch.
Donkey.
So did you that donkey head is deceiving because it looks longer than the beak.
Yes, it does. I thought I was going to sneak out a second against the donkey head, because it had the longer head and I couldn't see it. Crazy J says, "We're not your therapist, Tyler. Keep it bottled in." No, my therapist quit while being my therapist. Quit being a therapist, just in general. It wasn't my fault, I don't think. But...
Right. Keep telling yourself out.
Imagine getting that email. Being like, "Hey, can we set up our next session?" No, I'm not a therapist anymore. I've quit. Oh, it's great. Some alpha in the chat. The donkey head wearable extends your beak over the finish line. Long beak, the white beak, long beak. That's not true. It's all fake.
That's just not true. Oh,
all right. Well, here's the 100.
That's Loranger.
No. Charizard is on the bench.
Yeah.
Charizard is on the hard bench.
Looks like we got Eggy Trejo again out in top 3.
Andromeda
we got a 90 dork here from Superstitious Stables, though, hanging in there. It's a 100-meter race. We'll see. 70 meters to go.
Come on,
E.T. Mossy Racer in 3rd at the moment. I want to see this 90. Let's see. Can Eggy and this 90 duke it out?
Throw the black hole. Just throw it on everybody. He's up there. He's in the back. He's in the perfect spot.
You mean my black hole?
No, mine.
No, mine. I want my black hole. Yes.
Oh, no. Screw you. No talents yet, right?
Not yet.
40 meters to go. No talents. Perfect time for a black hole.
Nope, my black hole.
Perfect time.
What's gonna my black hole? It's not
Andromeda.
Happening.
Somebody.
There it is. Black hole. Nope. Dig. I thought I saw
dig from a meaningless dig. No, not a meaningless dig.
Not a meaningless dig, but this 90 dork hung in there and got second.
Wait, a 90 dork just got second?
Sure did. Chicken 32883.
What is this game?
Looks like D's Clucks with 3rd with E.T. Mossy Racer.
Donating tonight. Yeah. Donating to the cause.
90 dork. Running with Eggy. See?
Fucking Eggy.
I mean, I
done
with
Eggy.
See, it doesn't really show anything. It's maybe a one-off. I don't know. This game just sometimes can infuriate my brain.
In the end, man, I don't know how many of y'all have played board games that have, big time dice rolls, or if you're Dungeons and Dragons fans and you need to pull a 15 plus. Like, it happens. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. So that's all I can think, is that every once in a while that dice roll is just so damn favorable, and a 90 Dorking goes neck and neck with 99 Eggy Treo. So, but not my birds, not today. What else we got
No.
left here?
So it looks like the 200 sand in D for $5 is 7 to 12. 160 sand in A
we're on
class.
a 5-minute wait window now, though, so we might be pressing up against the edge of those actually filling. Do we have anything? We don't have anything else filled up, ready to go besides that, huh?
No.
Why are all of a sudden races filling now?
Did we miss one? No.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
This was one thing that was brought up, is just looking to scale out, because when things really start hitting and it's a 2-minute wait in between each race, I mean, it doesn't take much for that to all of a sudden become 30 minutes.
That's it. Is the system just not set up or ready for it to where it can pump out multiple races? Because I mean, we see 2 races live at the same time, don't we? Or is it just one?
No, it's just one at this moment. One goes off, another one will. Okay, one will
go
start, and then another will start.
Right,
but they won't start at simultaneous.
Right,
yeah.
It's cascading. I got
right.
You. Well,
all right. Well, 10:15. We put on a good show. Screw you guys. We're out. I don't think anything. Next week we're gonna make sure we get the full racing event going. We're going to do another poker as well. We're going to be dropping that. We're going to be doing, we actually did poker. We did an impromptu poker. I threw up a 96 Lackenvelder as a nice little prize, unraced. And Josh was a dickhead and won. So second and third place got some wearables. But if you are in the 548.
Still haven't gotten my chicken yet.
Yeah. You're not getting it. You're not getting it's my chicken. Actually, in all reality, I could give it to you because it is mine and it wasn't the 548s. I was just throwing it up, but screw you. So, someone else. Actually, Josh just told me he's going to donate his winning chicken for his 96 unraced Lackenvelder for next week. What a nice guy.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, thanks for that. Bud.
And the dorking that I won the night before. So I'll throw that one in too.
That wasn't from me. That wasn't.
That wasn't from you.
Yeah, that was from Cahill, I think. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna throw in some birds. We're gonna do a little poker. I think Saturday we're gonna do that. We're gonna lock down a time on Saturday. Anyone in the 548 can get in. We'll do another poker event. We'll try to keep that a little more regular. I think, with the way birds are priced now and the wearables we have, there's plenty of stuff we can win. Maybe I'll even throw a fusion serum in once we can get them. I don't know, maybe. I won't mind. I want to keep them all. I'm greedy with the fusion serums.
I'll be hoarding.
I think I have like 33 now. I think.
Because I'm very tempted to I mean, I've got my black hole. It's not a very good bird. I mean, I've got a couple Saramas that I would love to combine, one that's got moving walkway and one that's a sandbird, and they're both trash. So I would just I'd like to see if I could make that combination happen there. So
So the Power Hour also returns tomorrow night with Ross at Final Ross Battle at twitch.com/Final Ross Battle. A 95 fan group LAC from Sydney Cove is up for grabs tomorrow night in the Power Hour. So make sure you're there at 8 p.m. Eastern to hang out. I'm sure that's in the Chicken Derby Discord again. You can always pop in there and say you're interested and find yourself over to Ross's Twitch channel. Foul Language, as always, on Thursday. And then us, one more time, you get some more of us on Friday, where it seems like we're going to get a little bit more sneak peek at the Fusion, and we'll go over the dev blog, and we'll count down the days and the minutes until this time next week, hopefully, when we restart with some new pop and some new setup and some new races and hopefully some new attitudes. I'm tired of your shit, community. You hear me? I'm done. No, I'm not really that angry, but I am tired and I am worn out. So you might not see me for a few days. But until then, enjoy the Power Hour tomorrow with Ross. Enjoy Foul Language, and we'll see you guys on Friday. Josh, you got anything else?
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to get the poker running again and get that event going. Like Ross said in the chat, what a great slate of CD content through the week. Yeah, I think we got it cornered pretty well. Right?
Josh, I was trying to end the show.
Yeah.
It wasn't actually a moment for you to talk. I just wanted to end the show. You were supposed to be like, nope, we're good. See you later.
Yeah. All right. Well, fuck you. Bye.
Till next time.
Sure.
Fuck you, bye.
Son of a
Hello.
bitch. Why you gotta do that to me?
I can't hear when it ends.